Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 26 with the Chicago White Sox. If I sound a bit different, it's because I finally, after who the fuck knows how many years, got a new microphone. I bought the microphone I had, which was a Blue Yeti, and I had it for at least 10 years. But I noticed when I was recording Monday's video of last week, that I was like, doesn't seem like it's working so good. So that's why I got a new microphone. For those of you that are interested in such things, it is a Shure MV6, and I even got a boom for it. So it's like sitting right in front of my face right now. It's a little, it's a little unsettling. I think it's taking a while to get used to it, but I do like the volume that it produces, and I like the quality. I've checked the output. Do let me know in the comments if it sounds crystal clear, if there's still some weird shit happening, and we can adjust it. Before we continue, I wanted to go ahead and give a couple shout outs to some excellent comments. Thank you very much, as always. We have The Pattern is Real, an old friend who used to be called Tom is the name. He thinks it's probably just coincidental that he hits better in the field, and again, then it may not. Thank you as always for the praise, always well done. And I think it's one of those things. It's what's the word for it? It's psychosomatic. Like if you believe it's real, it's real. And baseball has enough random weirdness that you can convince yourself that that's the case. In real baseball, it absolutely is a thing. Like there's demonstrative evidence of players who do not perform as well once they DH all the time. But I don't think it's captured in the game. At least that's my supposition. Brian Gear 7094 said, "I'd like to know your thoughts about the Trevor Bauer situation. Do we think there's another shot in Major League Baseball?" I have two different answers to this question. They're both the same answer, but for different reasons. So I want to take a quick look here because I'm pretty sure we have access to his stats in Japan. And he was, if I remember correctly, very, very bad. I could be wrong, but I remember him being very, very ineffective when he pitched in Japan. And he hasn't been effective in the major leagues in a very long time, obviously. Maybe Japan isn't. Let me see here. I just want to do a Google search because I remember this coming up. Japanese stats. Here we go. Yokohama Dina Bay Stars. He was fine, I suppose. I guess he wasn't completely wasted. I thought he wasn't very good, but I suppose he was all right. Maybe. But you have to remember that being just okay in Japan is significantly worse than being okay in the major leagues because the major leagues are just that much better. So, I mean, maybe a team that's really desperate could benefit from his deal, but I don't think I would risk it because one thing I can tell you for sure is that he's a bit of a jerk. Just because he was exonerated, like they said he didn't do anything wrong, that's great for him, I suppose. But that doesn't mean he's not a creep. And more importantly, he's not a good teammate because he fucked over Cleveland in 2016 when he fucked around with his stupid drone and missed the World Series. So, am I biased? Probably. But that's how I feel about Trevor Bauer. I'm not saying he may not have a future in the major leagues. I just think there's way too much baggage for any team to take the chance on him. I guess he's got a YouTube channel that's pretty widely regarded, and I should give him, a bit of props, and that he knows baseball very well. I think there's a world in which if he trains up his act, even if he doesn't come back to the majors as a pitcher, he could be very, very successful as a pitching coach. I think that could be something that gets him a lot of attention in the best possible way. Very scientific about the way he used to pitch. He's just an unrepentant asshole and not a teammate, which I guess would make him a pretty terrible coach if you think about it. But anyways, thank you both for the lovely comments. Keep them coming. Always happy to hear more. So what happened in the last episode? I don't know how this team won 97 games. I truly don't. Yes, we got bounced in the postseason quite quickly, but honestly, we kind of deserved it. This offense is not major league caliber. Yes, here's 7th and runs scored, but like look at everyone below 5th, and it's just a whole lot of yikes. Yeah, we got work to do. We got work to do. Let's start with the team trainer. I hit the wrong button, you guys. It's this microphone in my face. It makes me very nervous. Here we go. Team trainer. Want trainer ratings. What do I think is more important, preventing injuries or rehabbing them? Here's my philosophy. And maybe it's the wrong philosophy. And maybe you can tell me in the comments and say, no, Avi, you idiot, you're wrong. Players will get injured no matter what. It's a fact of life. Baseball is a dangerous game. It requires a lot of physical effort. That means injuries are a thing. Therefore, I've always prioritized rehab over prevention, because even a perfect prevention strategy is not going to work every time. I like to try to focus on rehabbing arm injuries, because it's starting pitcher injuries that tend to really tank your season. So we got a couple of decent options here. I quite like Mike Barnes here, but I think he's a little too focused on recovery. This guy's okay. I do like Chris Gurgialva here, with great at rehabbing arm injuries and back injuries. Important for hitters, by the way. But he's not totally helpless at preventing injuries. So I think we go with good old Chris here. I recognize we're not paying attention to whatever his personality is, but that's because I don't care. I will figure it out. He's going to give me his response to my offer shortly. That's amazing. Let's go ahead and add on our AA pitch. Oh, we did want to see if we could promote a pitching coach. That's true. Save some money. We have a lot of money issues to sort out in this episode, so this could be a very problematic one here. I think Mr. Alexi here would be just fine being upgraded. I do want to look at Preston Claiborne. Yeah, Claiborne's not as good. So we'll promote AJ Alexi to be our AA pitching coach. Rookie League and A League both need new coaches now. Let's switch over to coach ratings. You know, I don't pay much attention to personalities and minor league coaches. Maybe I ought to. Maybe that's a serious for an A-ball pitching coach, somebody that's great at development makes me very, very happy. Let's do it. Connor Tomasic, please join us in holy matrimony. No, wait, that's not right. I mean, Jameson Hanna is just a great coach altogether. You know, he's not necessarily a great pitching coach, but I'm still willing to give him that opportunity because I do think he's excellent. Plus, it's how we get him in the system, right? And then we turn him into a manager down the line, and he does a fantastic job. Very exciting stuff. Very, very exciting. All right, those offers have been made. Scouting is fine, so I don't need to worry about that. Let's talk to our players here. Okay. What are we thinking here? I'm thinking a lot of things. What does Danny Rios want to come? Danny Rios still wants a pretty sizable raise that I cannot give to him. It's just not going to happen because we are right up against it in terms of money. So, oh god, -2 WAR. You poor sausage. You poor summer sausage. All right. Brad Barnes looks pretty poor in WAR. And why does he look bad at WAR? Because he walked a lot of hitters. This is an excessive number of walks, and that really penalizes you in terms of WAR. Despite that, he wasn't terrible. He had a 3.73 ERA, but it looks like it was our defense that bailed him out. His raise is pretty minor, and I kind of don't mind giving him one, so I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to offer him a slight raise, not a big one, but a slight one, and see if he can pitch better. Wow. You start itching to sign. What if I give you exactly what you said you wanted? Sergio De Leon actually had a really good year last year. He's had several good years in a row, and that speaks to me as someone that we should probably keep around in the bullpen. Can already see a person who's not coming back next year. Timothy Lawman is just too expensive. Like, I'm about to pay through the fucking nose for Brian Nels. Like, that is the thing that's about to happen. So, paying Timothy Lawman also a large amount of money just doesn't make sense to me. Uh, awesome. I need to mute myself slightly and lower my microphone. Give me just a second. Actually, can't lower it anymore. I guess I'd have to raise my chair. Anyways, yeah. So Timothy Lawman, I appreciate your contributions to the Chicago White Sox. I think you've been a very fine pitcher in the recent past. But if it's between you and Nels, it has to be Nels because he's both much younger and much better than you. So we're gonna go ahead and quickly offer you up and see where the market takes me. Wow, Alberto Acosta is really good. All right, new plan. Let's get a prospect package. Let's get the most we can out of the lawman here. This one here already looks pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. 2 greens and a yellow is excellent. So let's talk about Alberto Acosta. There's a lot to like about this pitcher skill set. Very good at keeping the ball down, good stuff, a nice mix of pitches here. Velocity isn't outstanding, but I don't think that's a problem if you have good movement. The control is not great. And the control might cost him a lengthy career in the majors. He's got all the potential in the world. I don't know about that one. Dave Chesser is fine, but I think he's extremely risky because of his big strikeout numbers, which he's definitely done a lot of. So I don't think his steal is as good as it appears to be. Where's the one with 2 green dudes? That's the deal I want to really dig into here. Okay. Steve White is a really good defender in a lot of ways. I don't think his bat is major league caliber, but I think his glove is, and that makes him useful. That makes him a useful player. Jason Bowers, look, there's nothing wrong with him. He's not very good. He's not exceptional. Jose Gomez is also fine. This is probably the best deal that I'm going to get. No one else is offering 2 greens, and even though I think this deal isn't flawless, I think it's a good one, and it saves us money, and I think that's reasonable. So Timothy Lawman, game. Okay, I was about to say the game just like starts like seizing up. Like the trade of Timothy Lawman dooms us forever. All right, this means Brian Nels gets to stick around, and that was always going to be the case. Like I was never getting rid of him. The question is, do we go all in on him? Do we sign him for, let's say, 7 years for 16.2 million a year? I think he's been so fantastic that I think I'm going to make this offer. I think this is the correct choice. It's a lot of money for a reliever, but he's actually being surprisingly chill about it. And he's very, 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 very excellent. He was better than some of my starters last year, so we're kind of all about that. All right. Here's where savings can start trickling in here. If I were to trade Carlos Geronimo, Hugo Gonzalez is a perfectly viable third baseman. He's not brilliant, but he's okay. And I think we've gotten what we're going to get out of Carlos Geronimo. I think this is all he's ever going to be. And unless I significantly free up money, we're not going to be able to do very much in the offseason here. So I think trading Carlos Geronimo is very reasonable. I think it's an appropriate action based on his actual performance in the major leagues. I'm gonna want to keep Pete Magnuson if I do get rid of him, because I think Pete Magnuson has a chance to be a decent third baseman. So we're gonna quietly slip him onto the 40 man, which will protect us from losing him. We also have Hernandez here is pretty good at third base. So I have enough options here that I think we can comfortably part with Carlos Geronimo and not lose too much sleep about it. So let's go ahead and trade him for some prospects as well. This is about saving money. We want to free up resources so we can invest in other players along the way. That's the goal. Alfonso Banuelos, huh? I see one thing about this player that gives me a great deal of concern. There's actually two things. So one thing gives me very, very great concern. I'll give you a second to figure it out. Okay, ready? It's his arm. A pitcher with this much skill should not have to nip this much, and his walk rate is pretty trash for a guy that is going to be nibbling around the zone. The second issue is his personality. I haven't really focused on this very much. Spoiler for a Rockies comment that I'll talk about on Monday. But somebody pointed out I haven't been paying enough attention to this. I think Ben Willis is a terrible risk. I just don't think he throws hard enough. And the fact he's struggling with control in the minors leads me to he's also going to struggle in the majors. And I think despite the gaudy blue here, like, ooh, shiny blue, I don't think it's the correct choice. We try to get a package with you too. Maybe. Okay, there are some offers here that look reasonably good. Um, I do like Jose Lira quite a bit. I think he's a very solid second baseman who can play any position quite well. I love his flexibility. The problem is nothing else in this deal really stands out to me as being very good. I mean, Alvaro Carreno, who gives a shit? But I like Lira a lot. I love players like this, ones that can at least handle themselves with the bat in the right circumstances. I wonder if I could get you to add in another player. I don't need a first baseman. Eric Morgan. I would take Eric Morgan in a heartbeat. But you want more? Yeah, that makes sense. That's a reasonable request. Manuel Avalos is not the best. He's fine, I guess. You won't give me Aaron Soto, I suspect. I don't know that I want Aaron Soto. Eduardo Castaneda. He's fine. Danny Pecci is probably not going to happen. Gabe Sanchez is at least interesting. Yeah, I think I'm just going to make this trade. It's a light return given Geronimo's actual capabilities for us, but it's a reasonable return given his actual performance. I'm sorry the fans are sad about losing Carlos Geronimo, but it is what it is. And I don't think we're making the wrong choice here. I think he was a very good player for one season and a pretty good player for a second season. And now his time with us is just over. I just don't think it's smart to keep him around anymore. Edwin Peralta, I will happily offer an extension to. He wants to get paid a lot of money. He wants to get paid all of the money. And that's not unreasonable. He's a very competent, very high quality center fielder. Um, does this deal fuck me in the long term? Or are SARS coming off the books? Edwin Hernandez is not opting out. This would solve so many problems. He's not going to do that. Igarashi is still going to be pretty expensive. Alex Gonzalez is going to be expensive. That's a problem for future us. I really think keeping Peralta is smart. But maybe not at this price. Maybe that's too much. Yeah, I'm getting suckered right now. He's given one truly outstanding season. Let's just do the 1 year for now, my friend. Let's see how this grabs you. No, that's not enough. Fine. Mm. Oh, he's very sad because I think he thought he was going to get a long-term. I mean, you're going to be in starting lineup. That was always going to happen. I don't know why you're being weird about it. Oh, I really think I really like about this microphone. I love the mute. Love, love, love it. It's just a light tap after if I hit the button correctly, and it's got an audio. It's got a visual cue. So I'm pretty jazzed about it. The name of this microphone, by the way, I don't think I said it before, is a Shure MV6. So if you're looking for your own microphone for whatever it is you use microphones for, then maybe it'll work out for you. Ryan Grammer, gosh, I mean, what is there to say about Ryan Grammer other than the fact he's a very usable fourth outfielder? That had a really bad year last year, but had 2 really good years in the past. Um, a world in which he's playing more than say 250 plate appearances is one that I'm concerned about our future. But I think in the short term, I see blocking anybody if we bring him back. Sisto Casador is just a hitter, and that's it. There's nothing wrong with that, but he's just a hitter. Pendarvis isn't ready. Villanueva was god fucking awful in AAA. So the correct answer is no, he's not particularly blocking anybody of note. And I think he is a skilled enough player with enough value that I'm willing to give him a 1 year deal. You're not going to be starting, though, my friend. He'll play whatever role I can fit you in at. All right, Morgia. What happened last year? His power vanished. This is a man with exactly one calling card, which is power. If he's not hitting for power, he is hurting this team. One thing I cannot afford to lose this at this specific second in human history, however, is any sense of power. We have Peralta, we have Igarashi, and we have other guys that are capable. But I think Murguia has game breaking power potentially, and that's something we just don't have in this system right now. Other than Willis Hidalgo, who can't play any position but first base. So I really do think Murguia is going to get a new contract for 1 year. None specified. That's fine. This was an okay free agent decision here. Locking up Nels, who has been truly incredible, is really good for this franchise. So I hope that he accepts my offer with relative swiftness, and that we can move on to the challenging work of getting shit done in this off season. Now we're gonna do some player development stuff. I think this is very important. We want to get some people some useful experience here. Enrique Sanchez, you've done extremely well in the Dominican League 3 years in a row. Let me casually tell you that you're going up to A ball this year. You're going to 3 outstanding seasons. You need to be genuine. You need to be challenged if you're ever going to get better. And so to that end, I'm going to go ahead and add you over here, and we're going to have you work on your power. Bat speed away. Michael Lonnie, I want you to work on control super hard. Like, there is a very realistic chance that you can actually literally join us this season if you only improve your control a little bit in the off season. Are you in fact a blimp? You're reasonably chunky, I suppose. You weigh less than I do, and you're much taller. But you know, I'm a chunky fellow, so that's fine. Juan Romero has played a little bit in the major leagues. We need him to just be awesome. So let's have you work on your bat speed, my young friend. Luis Perez should not be playing in left field, but he's such a good hitter that we had to make room for him. And I guess he could play third base, right? That is a thing available to him. Maybe that's what we do here. We play him at third. That's fine. Work on your gap power, my friend. Josh Heath, could you kindly improve your actual ability to strike people out? I feel like that's what's going to hold you back. Let's have you work on secondary pitch improvement, I guess. That's fine. Steve Caldwell, if you ever want to pitch in the majors, your control has to improve. And then Zach Leibold, I need you to really crank on your power here. Done. All right, we're going to advance a little bit of time here. Let some coaches make some decisions, and then we will adjust. You see, you got a better offer from someone else. I don't doubt that you did. You're probably getting major league offers. This doesn't surprise me. And I guess it was something I should have been prepared for, that he would get major league offers. What about Tyler White? I want hitting coaches. Why did I think I was looking for a pitching coach? That changes everything. I mean, it changes some things. I would love to get Jameson Hanna as a hitting coach, but that obviously is not going to happen. Can we get Nick Rossetti? Is that asking for too much? Probably. Probably he's like, I'm going to get an amazing offer. And I'm going to say, you know what? That's fine. You would give me Mark Krasinski. The problem with Mark Krasinski is he's just fine. He's a third baseman that doesn't have a very good throwing arm. That gives me a lot of concern here. He does play all the infield positions, and he plays the outfield kind of well, too. His arm is pretty trash, but I think he'd be an okay second baseman. And he's got some decent skills in the outfield, too. He works hard. His bat isn't the worst. Ricky Castro doesn't matter all that much. I mean, I would hate to lose Ryan Grammer. Jorge Renteria is something of compensation. Are you a guy I'm willing to acquire? I mean, as a reserve, he's pretty solid, right? But I also have like Pablo Perez here, who I think is also acceptable as a reserve. Ron Behrman is an okay reserve. Um, mm. I have Jerkovsky can switch over and play third if we want him to. And then maybe someone else can play shortstop, like Danny Ramirez. No, Danny Ramirez is only a second baseman. Yeah. Good bat, very, very good bat. Lots of skill. So I don't want to give up on him entirely, but All right. So if Luis Perez plays third base for us, then that solves two issues. That solves how do we get more playing time for my outfielders? How bad would you be as a shorts as a third baseman? You'd be pretty okay at it. Let's try this just to signal to the AI that I don't want a third baseman, and I will regretfully reject this trade. I did think about it pretty hard though. That was actually not a terrible trade. Brad Barnes sticks around. The fans are super jazzed, as they should be. You got more money from somebody else. 250. Rossetti is reasonably fine. Great. Kujava has signed. Rossetti's getting more money. 200 grand for you. I guess I should have checked how grumpy does my team get with this. Oh, we're ecstatic. Okay. It seems like we could very properly get rid of Pablo Perez because our team fucking hates his guts. He's disruptive. I mean, I did trade something for you, so I guess I don't want to give up on him too quickly, but it's just Terry Maton. So I mean, we could just release him or get rid of him, I suppose. That's a reasonable decision we could make. Andrew Picar's going to miss another 2 weeks. I don't really care. Fans love that we kept Peralta. They should love that. They should be amazed at it. Rossetti signed. Great. Oh, right. I got to talk to you about Steve White. Steve White is so useful in so many different ways that I think we want to keep him on the roster in some capacity. Is he out of options? We got plenty of option years left. I'm going to send you to the minors just for the moment, Steve. But believe you me, if you turn out to be what I think you can be, then I'll be very pleased with your skill level there. Personal message. Tomasic signed. Are we still waiting on the guy, or did he sign with somebody else? He might have signed with someone else. Oh no, we're full. We got all of our coaches. I said we got all of our couches. There's a world where I would sign Denny Rios again, but that world's not one in which he makes $10 million. That's just never going to happen. I'm sorry. I love you, and you're an amazing player, and I'm really grateful that we got so much out of you in your career. But I cannot afford to spend $10 million for a designated hitter. I just can't do it. I got a supplemental first round pick because, unsurprisingly, Igarashi was Rookie of the Year. Mike Cole definitely got his fair share of votes, so thank you both. That's some exciting stuff, you guys. That's very exciting. Can I have Picard on the? I mean, he's healthy now, so that's fine. Andrew Delgado is acceptable, but he's only acceptable. I think Romano Perez is actually pretty good. I think he's got a bit of a future to him, so I think this is just a hard no from me. I think any other awards, that's a bummer. Understandable, but wait, how did Alex Gonzalez not get Cy Young? I'm sorry, what? The man led the fucking league. He finishes third in Cy Young, second in Cy Young. Who the fuck won the Cy Young award? I am very unhappy. What sort of absolute degenerate won the Cy Young and took it away from the man who is quite literally the best pitcher in the league? It's probably voter fatigue, which is a real thing, by the way. It's just because this shithead played for the Yankees, isn't it? You are no Alex Gonzalez, sir. Man, this is some bullshit. I get his ERA is very gaudy with a 2.11. Alex Gonzalez was a 2.91. He was the better pitcher by any conceivable definition. But I guess he doesn't play for New York, so fuck him, I suppose. No, I don't want Luis Hernandez. I just don't. I just don't. What do I want in free agency is the question. So Perez plays third, opens up a spot in the outfield. We are going to get Abel Zarn back, so that might be what happens with that particular position. He'll be back soon enough. I will add Mato Arnett to the 40 man. Is Mike Starkman, does he have a genuine shot at making the majors this year? I think he's a very, very, very good relief pitcher, but I also think he's very far away from the majors. I probably add Francisco Andrade. I think kind of hope for the best. I don't need Sean Reed and Aaron Winning, so I can waive both of them, actually. That makes sense to me. Because I would love to add Mike Starkman to my 40 man because I think he's got some upside to him. Jonathan Ledesma, how about you, Ledez D's nuts? I know that didn't make any sense, but I don't care. I think Sisto Casadora's got a really good chance to be a pretty top tier hitter. I think he doesn't have a position, and so it's not something that's going to happen immediately, but I think he's worth keeping. The rest of these guys, I just don't think anyone's going to take. And so I think I can safely expose one spot on the 40 man. Also, to say, do I want to sign anybody in free agency? I would like a veteran reliever of reasonably high quality. I think the depth of the bullpen really struggled last season. So I think that would be a very smart decision, would be to add on a quality reliever. I could pick anybody at damn well, please. Bringing Chance Livingston back for $5 million seems like a pretty good bargain to me. I think absolutely take this trade if he'll give me 2 extra years that I can dispose of as I see fit. I think Chance Livingston returning to the White Sox would really boost our bullpen up quite a lot. I'm pretty happy about that. I'm going to go and offer Kyle Ripple a contract. I think that's fine. I actually have a lot of money for extensions, so maybe I can get a little bit greedier. Or maybe I shouldn't. I just feel like spending a whole bunch of money on any one particular hitter is probably silly. Patrick Wright is not the kind of guy I'm willing to invest in. I will definitely try to pick up Jeff Golpe. That's what that says, definitely. When a guy like this is thinking he's worth $15 million is just when I go, Gah. I would spend $2 million to get Danny Rios back. He's going to consider this hugely insulting if I do this for him, but it's what has to happen here. $2 million is, I think, what you're worth. You're welcome to try, but I bet you come back and realize that no one's going to offer you $10 million. Fred Daly is about as good as you are, and he's only asking for $2 million. So, like, get a grip. All right. Let's advance a little bit of time. I want to see if Chance Livingston signs quickly, which I bet he might. Because he's going to be like, I remember when I pitched for the White Sox. That was fucking awesome. John Cole is on the move. Okay. That's a thing that happens, I suppose. These three guys all unshockingly cleared waivers, so we can say goodbye to them. Into the minors with you. Neat. Hall of Fame voting. Isn't Ito still on the yeah, Ito's still on the ballot, but I don't think he'll ever make it. I think he's just doomed at this point. Like, this is probably what he deserves. He's not actually that legendary or anything, but I still like him. Fernando Cruz definitely deserves to get in. He's very high quality. James Wood, I think, deserves it, although I think he's screwed already. Adam Wilson, meh. I will vote for Willie Vigil and Judas Uziel. Adrian Santana can have my vote. Ewell Roque can have my vote. Jefferson Caro can have my vote. Antonio Perez can have my vote. I think he's actually quite skilled. Franklin Montoya is a worthy first ballot dude. Tim Montez, not so much. Or Moats. Liam Fidgety Phil McCrory. What an incredible name, but no. I will vote for Sergio Maldonado and Fabian Lopez, though. There's a lot of people on this ballot, and I think it's going to hurt a lot. I think it's going to hurt our chances of seeing anybody get elected. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. The fans are bummed. How much money did Danny Rios get? Danny Rios got $8.5 million for 2 years. I don't think he's worth it anymore. I'm sorry. Danny Rios has been an incredible player and a great person, and I really enjoyed having him on our franchise, but he's a DH, and I don't think he is very good anymore. Adrian Guerra, I think, was the name there that we cared about, sort of. Carlos Rivera got swept for James Conway. I could get John Bond, or I cannot get John Bond. Danny Rios is a first base only under the most generous definition of the term first baseman. All right. He really wants the no trade clause, but he also wants a lot more money. And that's just not going to happen. There's enough interesting pitchers I can get for far less money to the point where that's a no from me. I don't mind giving you the no trade clause. That doesn't bother me. I'm worth $5 million. I'm worth $12 million a year. Bothers me a great deal. It's just not good business. It's very foolish. Connor Baker is a hard no from me. Luis Mejia is interesting. So let me start with overall. Because I want pictures that can be effective right now. I could pick up Hector Medina for $2 million. Oh, that's right. Use my own scouting director, please. Yeah, Livingston apparently is getting a lot of money from somebody, and that person is not going to be me. Corbin Peltz is whatever. I could bring Terry Maton back, I suppose. I think Gon Park could be a very excellent relief pitcher. Let's offer him a contract. I'm not going to make you the closer. That job is taken. But I will offer you, for a limited time only, 2-year option. No. I am not making you a closer. I am not making you a closer. Yeah, you're being stupid. Go fuck yourself. It's former White Sox Nick Ambrosio. Big no from me. He's much too injury prone. Damn. So that's an old pitcher. He's well, actually, that's a lie. He's not older than I am. He's younger than I am. Sad. I guess I could offer him the closer role and just never give it to him. And then as long as they're winning, he won't care. Maybe that's the correct decision here. Like, man, he is obviously the correct decision, but he's also going to want. You know what, Mr. Park? I'm going to promise you the closer role if I get my 2-team options. And then I'm just not going to give it to you. That's fine. I think you're a reasonably good pitcher that's going to really strengthen the bullpen. And simultaneously, I'm just lying through my teeth at you. I'm sorry. You're probably like, fuck yeah, I'm going to get so many saves for the White Sox, but you're not. I got Brian Nels, bitch. What is Houston giving you? 4.4 million I'm on board with. That's reasonable. That doesn't bother me. The Nationals to give me the Jose Hidalgo. He's an okay pitcher, but I don't want to give up Hugo Gonzalez. Or especially Mike Colome. So I think I don't take this deal. It is tempting, but I don't think so. I think I've got enough pitching on this roster currently that I don't need to lose too much sleep over it. For the Rob Mills, no. I don't know what the AI thinks that I need starting pitching. I need relievers, but I don't need starters. I've got plenty of starting choices here. A lot of people here are on track, which is great. We're just going to stick to it, my friends. And that's going to be that. Rule 5 draft time. Did I leave a spot open? I did. Then let's fucking go. Who we got? Oh, I lost Marcus Gorgonio. I was like, wow, that guy's pretty cool. I could draft him. It's like, oh, he's already on my organization. I'd let him go. Meh. That doesn't bother me very much. Marcos, I wish you well with your future team. All right. Kyle Ripple's already in my organization, so that's a thing. I don't think so, mate. Robert Blanco isn't very exciting. Donald Kirch kind of is. I feel like if you were just given a regular role, you'd actually do quite well. Let's go ahead and grab you. I'll bring you up. And then that's it for me. I only really wanted to have the one spot, so we're going to auto-complete the draft. Neat. We did get Gon Park. Gon Park. I feel like Tanner Lee can probably very easily get through waivers without anybody claiming him. That seems like a very high probability event. Hey, look, I was completely accurate. We have a lot of blue chip prospects that just need to take that next step for us to be in very, very, very pleased with them. But I think adding two quality veteran relievers that I can rely upon is very beneficial for me. And then it lets the rookies breathe. It lets the youngsters get a chance to come in when we have injuries or when we have extra opportunities, and then we can go from there. I'm still furious that Yankee McJackoff there won. Did anybody win? Get in the Hall of Fame? Jefferson Caro did? Okay. Alberto Maini didn't even make it past the first ballot. Honestly, his career was so incredibly thin that I'm not surprised. Jaden Charles has been on the ballot and I haven't voted for him yet. What a silly, silly decision. I mean, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I truly don't. But I'm so happy that we had him. Yeah. That's how it be sometimes. We've got a big old bag of cash to potentially sign ourselves a quality international amateur free agent. So let's go. All players, please. Luis Corona is pretty great. I think he's a slam dunk if he'll sign with me. Let's see if I can offer him my max cap and he'll sign with me. I'm pretty sure the answer will be no because other people have. Oh, I do have the max cap. Then maybe he will sign with me. Maybe he'll be like, fuck yeah, I always wanted to be a White Sox. And then I'll say, fuck yeah, I always wanted you on my team. And it'll be great. It'll be amazing. I'm sorry, the Royals randomly moved to fucking Austin? I mean, I suppose that could definitely happen. Austin is a much bigger market than Kansas City, but that's funny. I don't think the Royals are in any danger of moving. In my opinion. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that I am wrong. We got the guy. Nice. Alvarado's adding a little bit of velocity, which I'm pretty happy about. I think Sato and Picard are rapidly approaching the point where I have to consider them to be washed, and then we'll have to make a decision from there. Did Willie Vasquez drop a shit ton of potential? I think he did. He's still pretty good, though. He's definitely the best catcher on the roster right now. Danny Ramirez got a little bit better. Jerkovsky got a little bit better. Pizarn got a little bit worse. Peralta's getting better. Yeah, Peralta's going to force the issue. I'm going to have to pay him a lot of money, and I'm happy to do that when he's earned it. What did Chance Livingston get? You got $15 million a year. That's redonkulous. It is the height of redonkulosity. It's a real word. Look it up. Okay, don't look it up. All right. Michael Lonnie 100% is going to get a spring training look. without question. Kyle Ripple probably won't, for the very particular reason that I think if we add him, he doesn't have options, so we have to keep him on the roster. Maybe that's not such a bad thing, though. I don't know. Let's roll 6-man rotation. Add in Jeff Allen and Andrew Pekar. I mean, that's reasonable. That's a reasonable decision to make. Do all the things here. Yeah. This could very well be your opening day lineup, by the way. It wouldn't surprise me if that's what ends up happening. I mean, Juan Romero just got better hitting home runs, which is pretty exciting. And other people got slightly better. That's fine. A blister for Backhouse. Austin Diamond Kings. I would Austin could support a pro baseball team, if I'm honest with you, though. They don't have a pro sports team, so I think baseball would be a pretty good fit. Like, in real life, both Texas and Houston would pitch a fucking bitch, and it would never happen. They would just say, no, you can't move another major league team to our area. That's never going to happen. Go fuck yourself. Um, that's what I truly believe would happen, by the way, if anyone proposed moving a major league team to Austin. But that's not a thing in out of the park baseball, for better or worse. So I get why the game is like, oh, but that makes sense to me. 4 months, huh? That's not great. I don't love it. That's very rude. That's a rude thing you did to me, game. Real bros don't injure other bros pitchers like that. That's not part of the bro code. Mike Cole absolutely has to make the opening day roster. I think a world in which we lose him is a world in which we're in very, very bad shape. So if it takes a little bit of time off, that doesn't bother me. All right. Mitchell Backhouse is literally made of glass at this point. There is a 0.0% chance he's still on my roster at the end of this season. I think wait for him to get just healthy enough that teams will trick themselves and think he can be amazing, and then he's getting traded. Because he just constantly gets hurt all the time. And Josh Heath, that probably cost you a major league position. I guess, yeah, we can put you on the IL. That's fine. There's no reason not to do it. I don't get any benefit from leaving you off the IL, so I suppose that's a reasonable take. Amigos, we got 41 players, so I bet way too many of them are pitchers. There are in fact 17 pitchers, so 4 gotta go. Arnett goes. Ripple just gets released. Starkman goes. And what am I looking at now? I have 14 pitchers, so only one has to go now. Okay. Steve Caldwell goes. Yeah, that's fine. 5-man rotation. Picard definitely is the 4 starter over Allen. And then Francisco Andrade, you're going to be my emergency starter. Why do you want Johnson should not be a long reliever. He can't do long relief. Oh shit. No, get rid of Johnson so we can out on a lefty. That's the correct play. Is Starkman a lefty? Starkman is a righty. Okay. Steve here's a lefty. I suppose that's the thing we could do with him. Nick Parker is a lefty. I was hoping there'd be an obvious choice, but maybe there isn't, and so maybe we just keep Johnson for now. Brad Barnes, I'm going to leverage you as a lefty killer, but I'm also going to let you be middle relief when the time is appropriate. All right. Pitching staff looks like it's set. Oh, how many players do I get in this league? Do I get 27 or 26? I get 27. Okay. I do want to carry 14 position players, so that's perfectly fine with me. Juan Romero definitely goes back to AAA for another season, I think, to cook a little bit more in the oven. Hidalgo goes to the minors. Behrman is a perfectly acceptable second baseman, so keeping him on the roster is possible, but let's keep looking first. I'm going to go ahead and trade Pablo Perez. I'm going to trade him for the simple fact that I don't actually need him, and he's an asshole. Does anybody want Putinhead Perez in their life? They don't. Then I'm just going to cut him. There is zero. I guess I can waive him instead. But there's zero benefit to keeping him on the team. Sisto Casadora is kind of legit in terms of a bat. Have you played much in AAA? You played very well in AAA. Let's try to make the easy decisions first, right? Steve White goes to the minors. A. Hernandez goes to the minors. Brian Williams might stay. I haven't decided yet, but I think he is in the running to get a job. Ryan Grammer stays, I think. I think Raul Ramirez returns to the minors. Raul Ramirez has had some experience in AAA, but I think he could use actually got quite a bit. So maybe he's fine. I think Sam Friels needs to earn his way back onto the roster. He's had an outstanding season in AAA, and then we strongly consider the promotion there. All right. I do like Pete Magnuson, and I also like Hugo Gonzalez, so maybe I keep them up as my utility guys, so Brian Williams can go. Behrman can go. I guess the other alternative is that we trade Ambroise Chilo, but I kind of want to keep Chilo for the moment. Two more players still have to go. Luis Perez is not one of those players. Dini Ramirez is a good enough hitter that I don't want to give him up for nothing. Pete Magnuson isn't that great, and I bet there's a chance he slips through the waivers anyway. So I guess 6 outfielders is too many, huh? What if I let Ryan Grammer start the year in the minors? What if I did that? I think that's a good decision. All right. I'm not going to touch this lineup. This lineup is virtually perfect. I have no real notes here. Yeah. I think genuinely Casadora has a chance to be an impactful hitter. Even though he's a terrible fielder, I think having him as an option really helps lengthen this lineup a little bit. Raul Ramirez can easily play right field when we need him to. He's much better than Murguia. Murguia's big problem, remember, last year was his defense, which was pretty terrible. At 2 years in a row, he's actually cost us a win in the field because he's just that bad and right. Igarashi can play first. Edwin Hernandez can't play anywhere but first. So, look, I have fantasies about him opting out next year. He won't do it. There's no benefit from opting out. So I think we just eat it and grumble about it. Does anyone want Edwin Hernandez? Would that just like completely vaporize my team? I'm just gonna ask the question. I'm just asking questions here. If I offered him up, would anybody know? Oh, you know what? I bet he's got. Yeah, he's got a 10-5 rights. That was a dumb thing. And I'm like, what if I played a hilarious prank on you and said I was going to trade you, but then I didn't? What then? What then? It's a good question. It's a very good question. Jason Miller's out for the season. I don't know why I care, but I guess I don't not care. I do 500 ball. That's fine. No, White Sox in the top 10 is a little disappointing, but I think my system is still very excellent. Oh, maybe it's starting to bottom out now. Interesting. 13th? That seems low, doesn't it? I think it's low. Michael Lonnie, do I need to add you to the 40 man? I bet I do. Yeah, I did. Oh, Lonnie, he coming. Has Sato been worth it? Kinda. He hasn't not been worth it. He just gets injured because he's old. Because he's old. How do I think his team's going to do? I think it's going to do fine-ish. I don't see a reason why they wouldn't do fine. I sound like I'm damning with faint praise, but it's just I don't see a reason why this team can't be successful this year. I think Alex Gonzalez missing an opening day start is probably fine. This mad lad. He should have won a third Cy Young. You all know it. But I think we got some excellent reinforcements in the bullpen. I think we're going to really appreciate having Hui-Gon Park to offer us a reliable presence in clutch situations here. I think we've also got some nice youth to be served here in Michael Lowney. We've got Francisco Andrade, who's got some pretty nice upside. And then we've got just some people that are just dudes. They're just hanging out, hoping for the best. And I like that for us. Starting pitcher-wise, I think we're probably going to end up having at least 2 more starters this season. So I think maybe we can take a little peeky peek and see if I can't sneak a starter in free agency. Somebody that doesn't want to make very much money. Just to add a little bit of veteran presence if we need it. No. Maybe. No. 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 I can get David Chi for free. If it's Chi, it's for free. And I think that's very smart. I think adding him on to the roster really gives us some depth in the high minors. Aaron Booker. And I think we'll add him too. Done. All right. I think the pitching staff is very good, but I think we'll miss Alvarado. Sato and Picard are both well over 30, which means they can collapse at any moment. Jeff Allen has had 3 very uninspired seasons in the majors, and it's going to take a lot for him to really earn my trust as a starting pitcher. The bullpen is significantly better in my opinion. It's definitely deeper. And I think we've got some young guns we can get really excited about. Like Michael Lonnie, if he maxes out, is going to be such an important partner for Brian Nels going forward. I'm paying you a lot of money, Brian Nels. I hope you're worth it. But yeah. I still think we have very many questions to ask ourselves about this roster. I think Chilo is the next guy that's on very thin ice. That's probably not true. I think it's more likely he just doesn't start. I think it's more likely that he turns into a very valuable backup and someone else gets to start at second base. I think it's very possible. Given that his offensive contributions have been relatively mediocre. So, yeah. Jerkovsky is way too young to give up on now. But he's got hit better than 203. And I think he knows that. But here's what I'm really inspired by. He still is worth 2.4 wins, and he hit about as bad as you can hit, which is pretty exciting. Which means he just builds up a little bit, and he turns into a really fantastic player. I believe Vasquez is another young guy that I expect a lot out of. It's a surprisingly young lineup. We only have one starter that's over 30. Two, sorry. Edward Hernandez and Abel Zarn. And both of them are perfectly acceptable for the moment. So I won 97 games last year. I would tell you there's a way I could win 97 games again, but evidently I'm just being silly. So I'm just not going to question it. And you shouldn't either. Until next time, my friends, this has been Up Guardian. I hope you got a lot out of this new microphone. I hope you have a good experience. And definitely let me know if the microphone isn't working right. But until next time, this has been Up Guardian. Thank you for watching. And I bid you good day.